So now that we know about objects and what an object is, it's very important that you understand conceptually what an object is before coming to this section. So we basically think and conceptualize the entire HTML documents as basically an object. So that's what the DOM is. So for example, here we have this whole entire HTML document. So we have our HTML, we have our head, we have our title, we have our body tags, we have our list item tags, we have our unordered list tags, H1 tags, and so forth and so on. So the entire HTML document is basically treated as an object, and we can manipulate it like any other object in JavaScript. So we can take each tag here in the JavaScript using the document object model. We can change the styling, we can change the font size, we can change the whether it's active or not. What happens when we click on it, right? Executes a function, we can disable it, basically using just JavaScript, right? And we're treating the entire document as basically an object. And to prove that the entire document is basically an object, I'm just going to console log it here, console.dir, in fact, just like we did with the math object, remember? And we just say document here. And you're going to notice something very special. So if I click on this, as you can see, it has many different types of properties and methods, just like any other object that we had here. URI, head, hidden, is child, and so forth and so on. All of the stuff here. These are events, of course. Mouse over, mouse leave, on key down, and so forth and so on. So this is all the stuff that will be within our document, right? Right now it's all null and so forth and so on, but you get the idea. We basically think of this entire document as an object, and we can treat it as such, and we can access properties and tags and images just using the document, right? The document object. So for example, here, let's just say I wanted to find out the title of this document here using JavaScript. So this is the title. So we are learning about the DOM, and I could just say here console.log. I'm going to access the property from the document, console.log, and I could just say document title. So again, this notation denotes that this is basically a property. If I do that, there we go. It just lists the text node within that property. That is to say, we are learning about the DOM. It's that simple, right? And we can find out, say, the number of images that exist here. So images, accessing the images, and the images themselves are basically, the images themselves are basically an object. So it's an object within this larger object called the document, the images, and that .length property of this. And how many image tags do we have? We have just one image tag. And if I refresh here, see, we got one. And if I make another image tag here, and let's just save and refresh, now we have two image tags. So that's how that would work. And we could just say .links, for example, how many links there are. .links. Links themselves are basically a what? Are basically an object. So it's an object within the larger document object, and the property that we will access here is .length. So how many links are in this document? And of course we have no links unless I put the anchor tag here. Anchor. Let's refresh now. Okay, well, I guess there's no href. I didn't put the space there. Okay, I don't think this is a legitimate link. Please don't open it. Right, it's just for testing purposes. You just say href here, and of course, there it is. So it just counts the number of links that exist within this document. So just to recap, the document is basically a huge object. This object can be used and manipulated in JavaScript and accessed in JavaScript to manipulate the objects within the actual HTML document itself. So that's how that would work. So thank you very much.